Okay, so if you're an expert in your field, a doctor, a consultant, any kind of specialist, I'm sure you've heard it a million times. You need to be creating content. And you've probably thought, yeah, right, with what time? It just feels like a whole second job. But what if I told you the best marketing you can do has nothing to do with adding more to your plate? What if it's all about using what you already do every single day? All right, let's get into it.
I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? The world is telling you that you've got to have this big online presence, that you need to be seen as an authority. But you're busy actually being the authority in your office or your clinic with your actual clients. So how in the world do you bridge that gap between your real-world expertise and building that trust online without completely burning out?
So, here's the big secret. You do not need to become some professional blogger or a marketing guru. The trick is to just stop thinking about this as creating content. Instead, it's about systematically capturing and sharing the expertise you're already dishing out every single day in your consultations. You're already a content machine. You just need a simple process to get it online. Now, the reason this whole shift in thinking is so critical, like right now, is because the internet itself is changing in a massive way. The old rules, just having a website with your services listed, they're becoming obsolete fast. And the engine driving that change, it's AI. Just look at this. It sums up a huge technological shift. Back in the day, when you searched for something, Google gave you a big list of links, basically a menu of options. But today, AI is trying to give you a single, definitive answer. Search isn't a search engine anymore. It's an answer engine. And for us, as experts, that changes everything.
So, to win in this new environment, we've got to make a pretty fundamental shift in how we think. For a lot of us professionals, the whole idea of selling online feels kind of icky, right? A little too commercial. The beauty of this new approach is that it gets rid of that completely. It's not about marketing, it's about educating.
And this quote just nails it. Your goal is no longer to sell. Your goal is to prove to the AI, and of course to your future clients, that the best, most helpful, most trustworthy answer to their problem comes directly from you. This lines up perfectly with what you already do. You educate people all day long. Now you're just doing it at scale.
So the big question is, how do we do this in the real world without it totally taking over our lives? Well, it all boils down to a really simple, repeatable process. Let's call it the Consultation Room Method. It's designed to be super efficient because it's built on the work you're already doing.
Here are the 3 steps. It's simple. First, we're going to harvest the real questions people ask you every day. This is your raw material. Second, we'll look at how to structure your answers so they make sense for both a real person and for the AI trying to find them. And third, we'll group these answers together to build what's called Topical Authority, which is how you prove you're the go-to expert. Let's start with step 1.
Step 1 is the easiest part. Just harvest your questions. For 1 week, seriously, just write down every single question a client asks you. You'll start to see these amazing patterns emerge, like these examples here from an optometrist. Questions like, am I too old for contact lenses? Or, why are my eyes so dry? These aren't just questions. They are the exact phrases that potential clients are typing into Google. They are content goldmines. Okay, so once you have your list of questions, we move on to the next 2 steps. And honestly, they kind of go hand in hand. Structuring your answers and building that topical authority. Look, answering one-off questions is fine, but the real power, the magic, happens when you strategically connect them all together. That structure is what screams deep expertise to both people and AI.
So here's the bottom line. The strategic goal is to become the undisputed go-to source for answers on your key areas of specialization. You don't need to be an expert on everything under the sun, just on the things you do best.
And the way we do this is by building what's called a Topical Authority hub. Think of it like a central pillar on your website for one big topic, with lots of detailed articles branching off from it. When you create this big cluster of interconnected content, you're basically sending up a giant flare to the AI that says, hey, over here, I'm the real expert on this subject.
Here's a perfect example of what I mean. Let's say our optometrist specializes in dry eye. They create a main hub page all about dry eye treatment. Then, they write specific articles that answer all those common questions, like the ones you see here. And here's the key. Each of those articles links back to that main hub. This structure makes it crystal clear to search engines that this practice is the authority on dry eye.
Okay, I can hear you thinking it. This still sounds like a lot of work. And you know what? You're not wrong. It does take effort. But, and this is a big but, It doesn't have to take a lot of your time if you're smart about it. So let's look at a few practical ways to make this totally manageable.
Here are 3 dead simple hacks. First, use your phone. After a consultation, while the answer is fresh in your mind, just hit record on your voice memos and explain it again for 5 minutes. Done. Second, collaborate. You're the expert, but someone else can be the writer. Let them interview you for 30 minutes and turn that into several articles. And third, batch your work. One focused 2-hour block a month is way more effective than trying to squeeze it in here and there.
All right, let's bring this all home. The single most powerful idea in this entire strategy is that you don't have to go out and learn some brand new skill. You don't need to become a marketer. You simply need a system to unlock the incredible value of the expertise you already have.
That's really it. You are already the expert. All we're talking about is a small shift in your mindset and your process. That's what's going to ensure that the rest of the world, and yeah, the AI that's guiding them, sees it too. Your knowledge is your single greatest marketing asset.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. What is the one question you find yourself answering over and over and over again, day in and day out? That question, it isn't a chore. It's your starting point. Answer that one first, and you're already on your way.